Hello and welcome, my dear learners. Hope you all are excellent. In this today's short video, I am going to share with you about one prominent, important poet of 20th century, and that poet is none other than Robert Frost. I'm sure you must have heard about him and his poetic work somewhere, sometime before this. If not heard a lot about him, at least you must have read one or two poems by him, and those poems could be The Road Not Taken or Stopping by a Snowy Wood. Stopping by a Snowy Wood is a poem which is widely read and widely appreciated by the readers across the world. And our first Prime Minister, Honorable Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, had chosen the last four lines of the poem Stopping by a Snowy Wood and had placed them on his table beneath the table glass to remind him every day about his duty as a Prime Minister towards the nation, right? And those four lines are the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. These are the four lines, or these were the four lines chosen by our Honorable Prime Minister and placed them on his table in his Prime Ministerial office to remind him every day about his duty towards the nation as a Prime Minister. Such was the power of his poems and poetic work and lines. So today we are going to see one of his such important poems, that is The Road Not Taken. But before I start the poem, I would like to tell you about his personal life in short. He was born on 26 March 1874 at San Francisco, California, United States, and he died on 29 January 1963 at Boston in USA. Initially, the American publishers refused to publish his work, so he got his work published in Britain, in England, and later on his work gained a lot of name and fame for him, and he was honored with many prestigious awards for his outstanding literary work, and a few of them are the Pulitzer Prize for his poetical work, and second one is New Hampshire he received in 1924, and one more is that is Congressional Gold Medal which he received in 1960 for his outstanding literary work. Now, the poem The Road Not Taken is considered one of the important poets by him, and it is widely read and widely appreciated by the readers and the poets across the world. In this poem, there is a traveler, and he is traveling all alone on foot through a forest, and all of a sudden the road on which he was walking gets divided into two paths, and now a problem arises before him. Earlier or previously there was no problem. He was alone and road was also alone. But when the road gets divided into two parts, or when there comes a diversion or a fork in the road, now the problem arose there, and it was very difficult for him to choose one of the two paths, right? Actually, this road symbolizes our life journey. Okay, our life is also a kind of long journey, right? And this fork symbolizes signifies the choices in our life. In our life, there come many situations, or there come time where we have to take the important decision, right? We cannot choose all the alternatives. We cannot choose or take all the options. We have to take one of them, and that time we need to be very thoughtful, very careful, and we cannot take the decision in haste, because whatever we are going to be in future is going to depend on the decision or the choice that we make in the present time. So our present is nothing but the seed of the tree going to be there in the future, right? If we take the decisions or choices, make the choices wisely, thoughtfully, after a lot of discussion and deliberation, definitely there are less chances of failure in future. Okay, so this is the message the poet wants to convey through this poem. Okay, and in this poem I am not going to explain the poem line and line or stanza by stanza. I will make another video on this. But in this in this video, I am going to tell you the synopsis of the poem, the summary of the poem, the central idea, theme, and the philosophy, hidden philosophy, or the message that the poet wants to convey. Actually, this poem is an autobiographical in form. Actually, in this poem, you will come to know, or you will see many autobiographical elements of the poet Robert Frost, right? In Robert Frost's personal life, also there was a time where he faced the dilemma whether to be a teacher or a poet, and after a lot of thinking and brooding over it, he chose to be a poet, and he left the first choice of that becoming a teacher for some time afterwards. But he knew very well that once he chooses to be a poet, he cannot become a teacher after many years in future, and that is true also, right? We cannot go back, right? So in the last stanza of the poem, the last line is very important, and that has made all the difference in my life. From this we can understand that that the poet is quite happy with the decision that he took in the past. Okay, yes, we don't know whether he is happy or sorry, but from the words, that has made all the difference. The confidence that we perceive from that line or from that sentence, we can conclude, or we can guess that the poet is happy and not sad about the choice that he made in the past. Okay, so this is the message that we get from this poem. The message is that our life is also a kind of long journey, and there come many times in our life, many situations in our life where we have to be very decisive, and we have to be very careful, thoughtful, and wise enough to take the right decision. When we take the decision, we think that whatever decision we are taking, that is right one, but we realize whether it is right or wrong only at the end of the journey, right? After many years, maybe after many months or many years in future. But that time, the time is gone, and we cannot go back and again restart the journey or resume the journey from the beginning point. Okay, there are only two options: either to regret or to enjoy or to feel blessed. Okay, if your decision proves to be right one, you are going to be very happy, you are going to feel blessed. And if your decision or choice proves to be wrong, there is nothing left but regret and remorse. Okay, so in life, many times what happens, people follow the crowd, right? Majority of the people follow the crowd, or the crowd in the sense the beaten path. Okay, that is the smoother that is a smooth journey, that is going to ensure your journey a smooth journey. Okay, and hardly anyone dares to take or walk on the path which is less traveled or unused, because there are many possibilities of failure. Correct? Yes, so it always becomes very easy to follow the crowd or to walk on the beaten road or used road, right? This is what the most of the people do in their life, and at the end of the journey they get what the crowd gets, nothing different from the crowd. Okay, so in our life also, if you want to have a different experience, and if you want to stand out from the crowd, or if you want to do something extraordinary, then we must not follow the crowd, but do something path breaking work. Okay, Yes, there are only two chances: either you are going to fail completely, or you are going to shine brightly. Okay. Yes, there is a risk. Without risk, nothing is achieved great. Okay, if you want to achieve great, there is a great risk. Without great risk, nothing is great. Okay, but while taking the decision, we should be judicious and careful, thoughtful, and wise enough. Once taken, we should pour out our heart and soul, and do whatever we can do towards our goal. Once chosen, we must not step back, we must not come back, but we should do beyond our capability and capacity to reach our goal. We should be dedicated completely. We should devote our life, everything, and we should be ready to sacrifice to achieve our goal and aim. Right? Come what may, we should not come back from our decision. And definitely, if this is your desire, if this is your burning desire, definitely you are going to shine brightly in future. So this is the message that we get from this poem. And most of the time people fail. They fail not because the problem is very tough, but because they are not tough enough to overcome the tough problem. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Correct? This is the saying you must have heard, read somewhere. Yes. So if we are tough enough to overcome the tough situations also will disappear one day. But we have to have that much patience and that much determination and patience, right? Then only the chances of getting success are more. Otherwise, we are going to fail. Friends, hope you understood the central theme and the message in the poem. Thank you so much for your patience. Have a great day ahead.